Well, welcome to another ukulele superhero interview, and I have two, oh dear, superheroes in my presence here electronically because I had such a blast with them. And so we have Nani and Keith Lowery, and they're in Gaithersburg,
Right.
Maryland, and I think I just won't give away my what they do. I'll let them talk about it. So, what's your superpower?
Oh, wow. Well, I think to start out, we have each other. This, uh, as far as, you know, we've been married over 30 years. And the story starts with me being a ukulele player since 5 years old.
Oh.
So the love for ukulele has been instilled in me from my mom. She put the ukulele in my hands and been playing ever since. We have three beautiful kids. They're adults, but I tease them because I said the ukulele was actually my first baby. So I said, "Oh, mom!" But the love for ukulele has been instilled in me since the beginning, and it's because of that I've loved to share it all my life. So having the love, that's I would think would be the superpower. Uh, the love of the ukulele, the love of music, and love of sharing it. I was also,
That love allowed you to share in a really big way. It impacted me greatly.
yeah, and again, we've been married over 30 years, and Keith knew what he was getting himself into when he married me.
Not fully.
Yeah, well, but the love for the ukulele was definitely evident, whether he liked it or not. But he has loved it, and I appreciated all of his support over the years, allowing me to enjoy sharing the ukulele over the years. And so, but if I didn't love it, then it's nothing. To play it, just to play it because it's a simple enough instrument to play. Um, that's nothing if you don't have the passion for it. So that's been I would say that would be the superpower is having the passion uh, for it. Yeah.
My superpower is a little bit different.
Okay.
Um, so we worked for a nonprofit organization about a year or so after we got married, and so within that we started from scratch and we had to build something, and we were able to do it, and through getting people around us that also believed what we did about this organization and its purpose and its vision, and so that was one of the factors coming in. I won't go into all the details. And then when I started working in transportation, school bus transportation, I'm still involved with that as a supervisor. But for 10 years, I was a trainer. And one of the events that I got to be a part of was a driver instructor conference. And I presented to some of the folks there that the conference could be better than it was. And they said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, it could be." And so I explained to them that it could be theme related and we could have more fun with the adults that come, and it would aid in the learning. So before you know it, I was involved with that for about 5 years. I helped on the planning committee as kind of like the event coordinator and planned a lot of fun stuff, and everybody seemed to enjoy it. So it was kind of this thinking outside of the box that I enjoy. It kind of fuels me. Um, and so with the ukulele world, Nani and I, we do play music together. We play Hawaiian style music.
He plays the U bass, more in the U bass shift.
And we both can sing, and we enjoy that. And we've played some around here at different festivals, like Polyfest down in Virginia Beach. It's a nice festival. Some is pro bono, sometimes we get paid when we play, or paid when we stop playing. Um, that's the joke. But anyway, um, we happened to go to some festivals. One particular festival that we went to was back in October.
Funky Fresh. Yeah, Boyertown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. And I was allowed to go because Nani was an instructor. And I just got a kick out of the whole thing. And I got to, at meal times, we stayed at a bed and breakfast. And at meal times, I got to sit next to Uncle Zach, who ended up coming to our festival, and Del Ray, she's from Seattle, and just talk story with them. And it was really cool. And I was one of the artists, it seemed like, but yet I didn't feel like it. But it was just a thrill for me to be in such company. And on the way home, Nani was driving home, and I said, and I don't even think we're out of Pennsylvania yet, back into Maryland. I said, Nani, we could do this. She goes, what are you talking about? We could have a festival right in Gaithersburg. And I don't think she really believed me, but once I set my heart to it, usually there's no stopping me from once I get this vision or envision what it might look like. And I was talking to Nani preparing for this interview, and I said, do we still have that sheet of paper, like our inception piece of paper, where I started to write down, I did a lot of research online, what artists were at what festivals and what years. And I would go back, as far as I could. And I was just jotting down names, and I used Facebook Messenger, believe it or not. And I contacted them with two questions: are you available, and are you interested? And I had the dates set out, March 15th and 16th. And I got responses back from a good number. And not all of those people that were interested came, because I didn't invite necessarily. I couldn't invite all of them.
Right.
But it was amazing. They, 5 months from that, when I started those messages, we were going to have this festival. And looking back on it, it's mind blowing how we were able to pull it off. But it just came together almost.
You are to be congratulated, because as a participant in that festival, I had a really good time. I learned so much. That was really, really important to me, is how much learning I came away with. And the concerts were just awesome, and making new friends. And of course, it's a ukulele festival.
Yeah.
And you added a lot to our festival.
Yes, you definitely did.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And even though we couldn't get a personal interview at the festival, but you were so gracious. So we'll do it later.
I figured you had a lot on your plate. So, yeah, and you're doing it again next year, right?
Yes. Yeah.
March
20th.
through possibly the 22nd.
Yeah, possibly the 22nd.
We might add a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 20 and 21st of 2020.
And so I'll put a link down below where people should be watching.
Great.
For that, yeah, so that they know, or maybe I can get tricky and put a link. I can put a link up on.
Yeah.
So there'll be a link so people know where to find it. And I guess I have a question for you on that too, because I know one of the ukulele festivals that I go to, there's a limit on how many people can attend. Are you looking like, got to buy tickets well in advance, or?
We don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet what our cap is. We think it'll be over 150 for sure.
Okay.
If we get the venue that we're hoping we get. But honestly, and I'm going to say this, but maybe I'll rethink what I said. But sometimes if you get too big, but then again, we've not done a really big one yet. I would think we would have to kind of change the strategy just to keep it comfortable and cozy and intimate. I think that's important for a ukulele festival.
Mm-hmm.
Your class size. You don't want it too big where the instructor is not able to have conversations with the participants, and the participants feel like, oh my word, all these people, and feel overwhelmed. I think you want to feel like you're a part of a group and feel comfortable, and you can just maybe ask a neighbor something and feel comfortable and not just seem overwhelmed by it all.
There are many things that drove us for this past festival. There's some basic principles, and probably back in December we went on vacation, and we really started to formulate exactly what we wanted to see in a festival. And again, nothing, it doesn't mean that other festivals are not good. They, a lot of them are great, but we wanted, like Nani was saying, smaller class sizes. But we also we felt our headliner was terrific. And we just felt like we couldn't have done much better than.
Yeah, Stu is awesome.
And so we set it up so that everyone that came needed to take one class from Stu Few. So we made that a priority, and so we want to stick with that. And then another priority was we wanted our jams to be small, like Nani was saying, in the 24-person range. And a variety of jams, theme-related jams, and so we were able to pull that off fairly well too. So it was a different way to do it. Whether we do it again next year exactly the same, we're not really sure yet. But for this one, again, I think anyone, if they're planning on doing a festival, you have to come up with what's important to you and work towards it. Some people might question it, but if you really feel a conviction about it, a lot of times it's best to stick with your conviction and see how it turns out.
Mhm.
So that's a great tip for anybody that's out there that's thinking like, I'd like to start a ukulele festival in my neck of the woods.
Yeah. One advice I know for me, one of the responsibilities that I took on was uh, getting the vendors. I personally work at Victor Litt's Music Center in the afternoon and evenings. I teach a couple days a week. And then I have a free ukulele jam every Wednesday afternoon. So I have a great connection with the store. I think it's important if you're going to do a ukulele festival that you have great connections with a music store or other music stores because you want to uh, get them to help you to get vendor manufacturer support, so especially if you're going to have um, uh, ask for manufacturers to donate ukuleles to your festival, which we were blessed to have a lot of ukuleles that we were able to give away and a lot of manufacturer support. So
One of the things that ended up happening, I told Nani early on, and we saw other festivals had raffles, and something I just didn't like the idea of having a raffle. I don't know why. I just didn't like it. At the time, I didn't like it. But we had this a meeting about a week out from the festival at the church that was hosting it, and they were telling us about a new kind of charity that they were going to be helping with. That they were hosting a soup kitchen, and they were so excited about it. It was kind of neat for us to see that, some folks excited about that. And I said, well, I was originally not wanting to have a raffle for anything, but maybe we could do it for your soup kitchen, especially since you're first starting out. And they said, no, I don't think you should do that. And I was kind of surprised. I'm like, what, you're turning down money, right? Said, no, we have this other organization. We recommend Gaithersburg Health. And they said, we think it's great because you're Gaithersburg Ook Fest. It's Gaithersburg Health. It just kind of goes together. And we have some people from our church that are on their board. And we felt it's a really worthwhile organization. And they started telling us about it. And it really did. It struck a chord both Nani and I. This was a really great organization, it seemed like. So we said, okay, we're going to do it. And we happened to get a beautiful ukulele from
Koaloha
Aloha.
ukulele,
And so that's where
and it was
started.
a $1,000 ukulele. And so we did have a raffle, as Keith mentioned, and anybody and everybody could enter the raffle, even the teachers, instructors, guest artists, and people that just came for the concert. They could buy a raffle
But the
ticket.
thing was, from that Sunday before Friday night, and then not even a week's time, we were able to contact the executive director from Gaithersburg Home. Her and her husband said, we're going to come to that Saturday evening concert. And they did. And we were able to present them, the executive director, with a fake check for $1,000.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And this charity work is such an important aspect of what I want to cultivate in my life. And so I'll put a link down below because I currently have a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Trying to get 10 ukuleles to intimate partnered abuse center that is amazing. Greenhouse 17. It's just amazing. I'll put a link to how to look up what they do because it's pretty awesome. They have somebody willing to do group instruction. We just need to get them some ukuleles. So, if you've got 5, 10, even less dollars, you can just go to the GoFundMe. I'd rather see lots of people donate small amounts.
Sure.
Good opportunity, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Can we wrap this up with any quick tip that you would have for my absolute beginners?
Okay. So my tip, and my focus is on beginner ukulele players, is that maybe somebody gives you a gift for the ukulele, so you're coming in that way. Okay, this is a gift. All right, I'm still not sure. Try it. Give yourself some time. If you're not a music person, first off, you don't even have to be a music person to play the ukulele. You don't even need to know how to read music. Just be willing to learn how to form the chords, how to strum the ukulele, and practice, and just stick with the basic chords, simple chords, and you get through a lot of songs. And if you want to add more, three finger chords, that are a little bit more challenging, go for it. But start out easy.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in rushing to get to the harder chords.
But I'd recommend getting together with friends,
Yeah.
go to a jam or something.
Yeah.
Play with others. Well, folks, I'm going to have to wrap it up because our platform is saying we're exceeding our time here.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to wrap this up for today. Thank you so much for doing this interview. Thank you so much for doing the
Thank you.
festival.
Thank
And
you.
thank you so much for having that charitable spirit through ukulele. And it's really, truly been a
Thank you, Lisa.
pleasure for me. All right.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha.